And it's sports board game time, Chuck.
About time. Been a while since we've done one.
It has. We got a lot of good responses about it, about the first cast we did. If you haven't seen it, go back and take a look at it. We talked about how sports board games are, well, what used to be, I guess, a thing of the past.
Most of our existence growing up, I know that.
Well, but the fun part was we found a lot of folks out there that are
still do it.
Still geeked with us.
Surprised me.
Geeked out like we are.
Yeah.
So what we thought we would start doing is we're going to start pulling out some of the games I got here and he might have at the house. We're going to start bringing out one at a time and just kind of go through them and show you how easy they are and how fun they are and how they brought us up. And it may be something that you'll want to go try to find and play with your kids or grandkids and get them off those damn Xbox and PlayStations.
Yeah. Good luck with that. But
quit doing this and start using this. So come on in, let's talk about it.
All right.
And welcome back to the Midnight Riders podcast. I am Johnny.
And I'm Chuck.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
It's board game time.
Change of weather.
Yeah,
everything's getting nice.
Not too shabby. Today we got a nice little breeze blowing through here today.
About time to. It's tornado and storm season here in Oklahoma, so it's a good time to stay inside and play some board games play some board games and watch some weather.
Yeah, huh? Man, oh man. Anybody out there chasing them like we are, we feel you, man. We feel you.
Yeah.
But what we did, like I said, the first podcast we did, like maybe our 9th or 10th podcast.
I think it's the 10th one.
We did a lengthy one about board games in general, sports board games, and got some pretty good comments.
Got a lot of response. Got a lot of people out there that kind of surprised there were still that many out there that are still
enthusiasts,
still into it. So that was good to hear and good to see. And
it really was.
Not just us.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the sports board game was made years and years and years ago, or before electronics and everything. Anybody that loves sports wants that opportunity to be the manager, to be the coach, to be the guy that makes the decisions.
Control the big names.
Control it. Yeah. And sports board games started out in a pretty simple manner, and then they've grown just like most things do, and they got more complicated, more detailed, and some of them are a little over the top as far as detail is concerned.
Some take too long to even get set up.
Yeah, some do. Like you're playing Axis and Allies or something. Just all you'll do is play ball games. So what we thought we would do is let's start with some of the easy, basic ones that we got as kids that I still have around here. I got a lot of them. I got a handful of them up here that Chuck's got a few at his house. We're going to go over some of the fun ones. We're going to do podcasts here and talk about different ones, the ones that we enjoy doing, and maybe it's something that you want to get a hold of either on eBay or your local antique store. So, I mean, some of these things actually are still being sold out there on the market.
Sure they are.
Get online somewhere.
They're all over the place.
But we thought we'd start with an easy baseball. It's baseball season, so we thought we would start with one of the easier baseball games that we had over the years.
One of the early ones I remember. Anyway.
It's called All Star Baseball. Show them the box, Chuck.
It's a cool box of some unknown guy with no team logos, because back then they couldn't put team logos on anything. You wouldn't photograph. So there you go.
That's right.
There you go.
It's a pretty simple. A lot of your board games, as he unboxes it over there, a lot of the board games you're either going to use dice to get a decision or what they call a fast action card by turning the card and getting a result. This one, when this one came out, it was quite intriguing because it had little spinners to where you don't have to have the extra dice and you don't have to have the extra cards and you don't have to have any of that mess. You actually have a spinner on the board right here that actually you just spin the thing and it gives you the result of what's going to happen. It's really kind of cool. This one actually comes with this set up with a outfield wall, if you will. Get a little closer to you there so you can take a look at it. It's got the results of the plays as you get them in there, and it's a cute little setup to where you can put it just like this. You got little pegs here that will be placed for like who's on first. What's on second? Yeah. And so it's a cute little game. It's great for the kids. If you've got the kid or the grandkid that wants to learn the ins and outs of baseball, about the managing portions of it, about the rules, this is a fantastic game to sit down and play with the kids. It teaches you a lot about baseball strategy. It teaches you a lot about the game itself. There's limited results, as you can see. There's only 4 or 5 results for each spin that you could possibly have, but it's got Wrigley Field in the background, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
But the game itself is a very easy play game. We'll take this down just for a quick second, so we can kind of play it and show you what's going on here. The game comes with these little discs.
Yep.
Show them off, Joe.
Yep. For you older school guys, none of you new kids, but you got your. There you go, Steve Garvey's, Rod Carew. The number of how big the areas are, which is we bring in the realism to all of this. Certain guys do certain things, strike out more. I think the number 10 is a strikeout.
Well, as you look on here, you see the different batting key down there. Hold up that disc again, Chuck, and you're going to see a disc of who do we got there?
That's Rick Burleson, who struck out a whole lot for you Red Sox fans.
What they'll take is these discs are created using true baseball statistics. They take the statistics of the players, and they break it down on the disc as to so many, whatever column needs to have the most. Like if they got a whole lot of fly balls or a whole lot of strikeouts or whatever, that space is going to be a little larger.
Your number 1 is a home run, a little larger spot for Mike Schmidt there.
And so as you can look at the results there, if you spin a 1, it's a home run. You spin 2, it's a ground ball. You spin a 3, it's a fly ball, and so forth. So it's pretty easy as far as the basics of the game for the kids to play.
Here in comparison, you got your Mike Schmidt with your 1 with a big area there, and you got your Willie Randolph who never hit a home run with the little. It's got to land right there exactly on that little dot.
Exactly.
Home run.
So it
doesn't happen.
So it's actually it's really statistically accurate enough to make it your first.
To get by, yes.
Any one of these games that you find is going to come with a set of discs. Usually it comes with about 60 discs. So many National Leaguers, so many American Leaguers, or it'll have Hall of Famers. I've got a couple of different sets that I've bought. I've had 2 or 3 of these games, and some of them I've worn out, and I've got 1 box left, and I just moved the discs over because they're all interchangeable. Like this set here is red in the middle. That's kind of a gray in the middle. I got another set here that's white in the middle. Depending on the boxed set that you buy will depend on which players you have. It's just a fun little game. We're going to run over a little bit of it here with you to show you how it's played, and depending on which game you get, it's going to determine which players you get. You've got this particular white set has Darrell Porter, Phil Niekro, Jerry Royce, Jim Palmer, Tommy John, Ron Guidry. These are all the pitchers and catchers which came on the white discs. Ted Simmons, Carlton Fisk. The red discs, you got Ken Singleton, Jack Clark, Mickey Rivers, Cesar Cedeno, Bill Buckner, Al Oliver, Babe Ruth, Fred Lynn. I mean,
and the cool thing about this when I was a kid growing up and learning baseball and getting into baseball was you can make your own all-star teams.
Sure.
These weren't broke down into teams for a specific year, so you could have a team with Gary. I can't stand Gary Carter, but so I wouldn't have had him anyway. But you can have your Johnny Bench and Paul Molitor, Rod Carew all on the same team. You could have a team with Craig Nettles and Mike Schmidt on the same team. You could build your own all-star teams, and that was the cool part to me back then.
That's correct.
You could be a manager and you get your buddies and y'all would have a draft.
That's correct.
You'd have all your teams, all the players out there, and you draft your team. It's little things you can do.
Now with the internet, this game back in the day, whenever this game was sold, you could only do so much. You'd have to play with the same guys that you had forever. Right. And it would be like every year they would come out with a new game. But the thing was they never came out with a game to where you had all of the Cubs or all the A's or all the Reds or all the whatever. You always got a mixture. You always got all-star teams. It's called All-Star Baseball because usually you got the all-star teams of the previous year that came in the box. Now online, you could actually go online to eBay and other places and find actual discs for this game that you can purchase and print out. And it's got different players from different leagues, from different times. This is just a handful of them that I've gotten online. I mean, some of them are free, some of them are purchase. I got a Mickey Mantle here. I've got an Eric Davis, Lenny Dykstra, why for some reason.
Ooh.
Miguel Cabrera, Carl Yastrzemski.
You got Cabrera?
Mel,
that's a newer one.
Yeah, and this one actually came with team logos on it.
All right, so there you go. See, and I was looking up this on eBay just for some talking points, and you still get this game like on eBay for $35, $40, $50, and it comes with multiple teams, and so yeah, it's a cool little game. And it's an easy game for your younger grandkids, grandkids,
and you can it teaches them. And it teaches them the game. It teaches them the strategy of baseball. It's not all about, fixing your wristbands and wearing 7 or 8 chains whenever you go up to the plate and making sure you've got, 6 bats and 2 gloves and batting gloves and running gloves. And it just teaches you the game of baseball. Not the prima donnas you have to watch play the game, but actually the game of baseball. Simple procedure is you just take, let's just say Rod Carew is going to lead off the game. So I'm going to put the disc in the slot. I'm simply going to spin the disc or spin the spinner. It's going to land on number...
Well, you need a pitcher.
You need a pitcher?
You need a pitcher?
No, the pitchers don't. No, the pitchers don't pitch. Pitchers actually...
Oh, that's right. On this one, they only for the hitting. My fault. Wrong game.
Yeah, well... This is I spun a number 9. So you look at number 9 and it says base on balls. Rod Carew just got walked. So you take this little guy here and put it on first base. So now you got a man on first. Now, so you bring up your next guy to bat. Let's just say the next guy to bat is Phil Garner. Phil Garner would have to take a shot. So Phil Garner gets up here. You spin the spinner. And it's an 8. What does 8 say?
8 is a fly ball number 1.
Now
so you go to your card.
That's where your chart goes. This is your fly ball number 1. Now, whenever you have your specific fly ball number 1, you go to your...
and then say you got your center fielder. Say it's Ken Singleton.
No, you don't need him anymore. You spin this.
You spin it? That's boring. Yeah. You can put your center fielder in there if you want to. That's what I use.
You spin the disc, the dial here, and on the outside it's got your fielding letters. And it says the letter M. Then you go to this little chart here. This says fly ball number 1, and you look at the letter N, and it says fly out, runners hold bases. So you've got 1 out, runner stays on first base, you bring in your next hitter. It's just that simple. You also have what's called a strategy disc. Now the strategy disc, if you look, you have an A through E column, which is on this, the outside, and you have an F through J, which is on the inside. Now the A through E is single, steal, double steal, hit and run, and squeeze play. The F through J is single steal, double steal, sacrifice, and sacrifice, depending on different bases. And again, it's just a spin and a result. It's just that simple. The result board that you have here will tell you everything that happens on the field as you spin it. And it makes you make decisions. It makes you create your own lineup. You have the lineup card. Get your team. It's got positions. You get your team. You make the lineup. You decide who hits. You decide if you hit and run. You decide if you steal. You decide if you take that extra base. That's how this game is. It's such an easy game to play, but as far as statistical accuracy, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. You don't have the addition of pitching.
Right.
In this particular game,
about that actually, but yeah.
But you do have the ability to call certain plays, to call the hit and run, to decide if you're going to steal, decide if you can have a squeeze play or a sacrifice bunt, or you can pinch hit if you don't like this guy hitting for that guy. There's no right versus left stuff. This game was made back in the day where
that wasn't a factor. It wasn't a lot of a factor.
If you're on the mound, you're going to throw.
Yeah.
It's just a great game.
Yeah, and that's really honestly, that's really the only downfall to this game that there was no. It didn't matter what pitcher you had in the game, to where some of your ones we'll talk about later on. The pitching became more of a factor. This is more just an offensive strategy game.
Sure.
Just to strategize on your offensive skills and what you wanted to do with your, like you said, with your offense, what you wanted to do. So it'd be great for a kid just learning baseball.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what we did. I mean,
that's part of my growing up. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the first games we ever had because of the basics of it.
And the good thing is you can play by yourself. You can play with somebody. You can also play solitaire. You can play it on your own.
Sure.
It's not that complicated.
No, it's not. It's an easy game to learn. It's an easy game to play. Where's the lid? I mean, the instructions are right on the inside.
Yep.
I mean, you got instructions that just walk you right through it. It's just that simple. It's a fantastic game to get if you want to sit down with your grandkid or sit down with your kid and teach them the wonderful game of baseball the way it used to be. The strategies are the same. You make your own lineup. And like I say, you can go online and find any of today's players or any player from any year.
Mm-hmm.
If you look hard enough, you can find the discs for the All Star Baseball game online. A lot of them are printable for free. Some of them you can actually go on eBay and buy season.
Yeah, eBay you can buy
sets.
some, and you can still go into some websites that'll have there's a lot of people that'll have a lot of these. I mean, there's I'm not going to say the website or not.
They wouldn't mind.
Well, it'd be good if I could remember the name of the website.
There's things that certain when you do a podcast, we really need
I
to be
wasn't
prepared. But we don't really like to get prepared, as you can probably tell. Now, like I say, the ones that you can find online, they look very good. Now, I will tell you this. There was one version of this game. There's 2 or 3 versions, actually. The earlier versions did not have the strategy disc on the outer edge where you had the extra items. You're going to find some old games that don't have the strategy disc. Somewhere in the mid-'70s, they came out with a different version of the game to where if you can see this card, see the white out area there, this was actually cut out, and you actually had to set the disc on a holder such as this. So I would strongly suggest if you go out there and try to find one of these games, try to find one that's got the pockets like this to set the disc in. You're going to have a much better chance of finding discs online that'll work much more easily if you just find the one that has the disc that you just slide into the little slot there and then the spinner. This particular style of game is going to be a better game for you as far as getting more teams and more players to put into here. So this is it's just a great little game for the learner, and don't drop your little pegs out there. Do that right there. So
no, it's I don't know. Sports games are something we grew up on, and you can find anything anywhere. You just got to have the time to sit and do it.
Yes. A game like this, depending on the speed, is different depending on who's playing, depending on how much realism you want to put into it, depending on how much time you want to spend with it. I mean, there's nothing says you can't play 3 innings and go take a break and come back and play it later.
Right, and it keeps. You don't.
You can get any score pad and use it as a scoring sheet. Some of them come with.
A lot of them come with them. Yeah.
Just your basic score sheet. Some of them come with it. Some, again, you can download and print any score sheet off on the internet these days, and it would be, it'll work for it. It's just like even scoring a baseball game. I mean, it's just that simple, and I highly recommend this game for all ages. Anybody that understands a little bit about baseball can play this game. Anybody with an attention span can play this game,
and that's a big thing now. You got to find. I'm just wanting to get my grandson into a couple of them because he's a baseball fanatic. He loves it, and I think it'd be good to.
Sure, most kids these days, they're into the video games. They're into the great graphics of the PS5 or the Xbox or all this stuff. They want to swing the bat. They want to push the button and swing the bat. And I get it. I do. we were brought up a different way. If you're going to swing the bat, go outside and swing the bat.
Outside and swing it.
You know, get you about 5 or 6 of your buddies around here, go to the sand lot, and knock the hell out of the ball, and have a good time. That's the way we used to do it. Can't do that much anymore. This allows you to be the coach. These games, and we're going to get into some more detailed ones as we go. This is one of the more basic games that started out.
This is easy,
and it's simple. It's a good way to get started in baseball board games. It's a great way to get started. It's still pretty statistically accurate. It allows you to make the call, and it allows you to do what you need to do to be the coach and be the manager.
Yeah,
so.
and that was always the fun part. Like I said, my favorite part about it was putting your all-star team together and putting a couple of them together and playing. So
Sure.
it's yeah. I mean, these even got some. You got them all. You got all of them. The Negro League players. You got all-stars of every age and everything. But
Sure. You can go
again,
online and find
highly recommended if you have any interest in it, and comment on there if you do. And
Sure, we'd like to hear your comments.
Any other sports games?
Anybody else that's played this game, let us put comments down here to help those others who haven't played it, and let them know what you thought about it. This is one we highly recommend for kids and adults alike. It's a great game to bond and bond over the game of baseball.
And it doesn't take long.
It doesn't take long.
Play a game in probably 30 to 40 minutes.
That's correct. And it's super simple, super easy, and it's a lot of fun. So if got any comments, I'd like you to subscribe with us and leave us some comments. Let us know if you ever played this one or if you would like to play this one. And if you do get it, come back and comment later and let us know how you did and how much you enjoyed it, because I know you will. Anything else?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've got any other games, I mean, our collection covers baseball, football, hockey, auto racing, boxing, basketball,
soccer. I got 2 soccer games. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm not a soccer guy, but I got a couple of board
he can
games
talk about the soccer
that are actually fun. I mean, I don't like the sport of soccer, but the couple of games I have are fun.
Okay.
It's interesting. I've even got a game up there of the Olympics or the decathlon.
The decathlon game.
I got a couple of golfing games. I got one up there that's yachting, and that's kind of bizarre, but it's actually a game of yachting.
Any yachters out? Is that what they're called? Yachters?
No, they're called It's called a regatta. I don't know. What are the folks that
if you got a big fancy boat and you want to know how to play a game about it, we got that.
Boat.
We got that too.
Yeah, but there will not be a podcast on it. Because I still don't know how to play.
We got pro wrestling games. We've made a lot of games.
Making one right now.
So,
like I say, we enjoy it. It's part of it's.
Put some comments
one of our
out
things.
there.
Give us some comments. Let us know what's going on. Let us know some of the favorite games you played. Let us know that way we can see if we've played them or not. We can run through them right here.
Yeah.
If we've got them, we'll run through it right here. We'll do a quick rundown on what we think about it and how it was played, and we would love to give it a shot.
I'd like to go check out some new ones if y'all got some you want to throw out there and see if there's some we've missed over the years. So I'd like to check some out.
Well, all right then. If you ain't got anything else on this particular topic,
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Check back. We're going to be doing this more often as far as the sports games. I'm probably looking up there. I got to see 25 of them up there right now. So we're going to be doing a lot of this coming up. This is just a quick, fun little podcast we can do, 25, 30-minute deal just to walk through the game. Enjoy it. We love it. We hope you will too. Leave us a comment, subscribe, and we will talk to you soon. And here we go.
Keep checking us out. We got a lot more podcasts coming.
That's right. Have a good day.